Welcome back to the Keiser Report. I'm Max Keiser. Time now to turn to Dr. Christos Vlachos, CFO of the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. Christos, welcome to the Keiser Report.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be on the show.
All right, fantastic. Now, your university is the first in the world to accept Bitcoin. Tell us about it.
Yeah, actually the University of Nicosia is an educational conglomerate, I would say.
The University of Nicosia is a conglomerate.
It's a conglomerate because we have, apart from the university, we have a partnership with St. Joseph's University of London. We have a medical school in Nicosia. We have colleges throughout all cities of Cyprus.
How many students?
8,500 students. And we have many campuses all over Europe and 2,000 students in online programs from all over the world.
And you're the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and you recognize an opportunity in Bitcoin. Is this part of what happened when there was a bail-in? Going back to earlier this year, remember, there was a huge bail-in, there was a confiscation of people's bank accounts. Is this what the bell rang and suddenly Bitcoin became something to do?
Actually, it has nothing to do with the bailout and the crisis. We have been receiving requests from all over the world, from students in Africa, Asia, even America, who attend the university courses from their own countries, and especially from students from underbanked regions of the world who wanted to pay us in Bitcoin in the last couple of months. So we examined this issue, we studied it, and we came up with the conclusion that paying through Bitcoins is an excellent payment method for the students, cheaper, quicker, safer, and we decided to adopt it because it has tremendous advantages over the current, the existing payment through fiat currencies.
Okay, and you also offer degrees in cryptocurrencies, correct?
Actually, it's a Master's of Science in Digital Currencies. How the digital currencies will affect businesses, regulators, bankers, accountants, lawyers, merchants, consumers. It's not actually a course in cryptography. It's a course about the public at large and the businesses at large. How will this Internet of money affect our everyday life? This is what we want to study in this master's program.
Okay, now one of the questions people have about using Bitcoin in a practical sense is the large volatility. You see price movements from in hundreds of dollars in a day. As a CFO, a Chief Financial Officer of a major university, what are your thoughts there? Is that a problem, or how do you address that?
Yeah. Actually, Bitcoin, as all other currencies, can be used either as a means of exchange or as a store of value, as an investment. As a university, we will be using Bitcoin as a form of exchange. It's an excellent form of exchange. As far as a store of value of investment is concerned, we will not be undertaking any risks. That is, we will be accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, converting them to euros effectively. For example, if a student from Kenya wants to pay 1,000 euros, and at the point of payment, the rate is 200 euros to a Bitcoin, he will send us over 5 Bitcoins and immediately we'll convert it to 1,000. If the rate is 500, he will send over 2 Bitcoins and immediately we'll convert it to 1,000 euros.
Right, so your university might use a service like BitPay, for example, and they can convert any currency using the Bitcoin as a transfer mechanism and then into the local currency, really in the same transaction. You're taking no currency risk whatsoever.
No.
And that's an interesting point now. If you have students coming from Kenya and countries where the capita per resident is very, very low, if they're using Bitcoin, which is a much cheaper way to send money and use money, Does it make a difference in terms of now suddenly there are more people who can get an education because of the cost effectiveness of a Bitcoin? In other words, is it having an effect on the number of people now who can actually seek an education due to the cost savings from a Bitcoin?
Yeah, actually, we are launching a special scholarship program for students in poor countries. It's called UNICAF, University of Nicosia Fund, that we will be offering special scholarships to students from poor countries and also giving them the opportunity to pay through Bitcoin, which will make their studies even more cheaper, more attractive.
Right. So here's another use of Bitcoin, which as far as I know, has never been discussed. It's lowering the barrier to entry for higher education for millions of people due to its cost efficiencies. And this, of course, will then mean a lot more educational opportunities all over the world. And as your university in Cyprus, I take it, would be the first to do this anywhere in the world, but the more would follow, I would think.
Yes, actually, I believe that behind all this worldwide media attention is the fact that you have pointed out, Max, that it's an initiative that will make education more attractive to poor students all over the world. I believe it's one of the most attractive advantages of Bitcoin.
All right, now let's talk about Cyprus, because Bitcoin was trending higher over a number of years, and people were looking at this thing as a curiosity more than anything else. And then suddenly there was a huge crisis in Cyprus. The price spiked from 40 to 260. And people realize that, wait, this is really a way for folks that are being abused by the banking system to preserve their wealth, to escape the abuse of the banking system. You were in Cyprus at the time. What was the feeling on the street? Was it really, because from the outside, we have the impression that it was spread like wildfire. Suddenly Bitcoin emerged and it was talked about immensely. Is that true, or what was really going on?
Yeah. Actually, at that time, back in March and April of this year, when we had the bail-in, people in the streets didn't really know about Bitcoin. Actually, everything that was happening around Bitcoin at that time was mainly from Bitcoiners in the community outside Cyprus. Only a few people knew about Bitcoin, and I believe that the price increase and then the crash in the price of Bitcoin went unnoticed in Cyprus, I would say.
Okay, so more activity really outside of Cyprus than inside Cyprus itself.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it did kickstart a tremendous move from the double digits to the triple digits and now the quadruple digits. When you said earlier that it's both a means of payment and also store of value, let's talk about the store of value for a second, because some are estimating that you could look at a Bitcoin as you would a precious stone, like a diamond, and it could be worth $1 million per Bitcoin. Even Hugh Hendry, who's a respected hedge fund manager here in London, recently has said that Bitcoin could be worth $1 million per Bitcoin. Ron Paul, a famous politician in America, has come out recently and said that he thinks that Bitcoin is the killer of the U.S. dollar. And we'll get to that in a second. But what do you think about this idea that the price could trade up to, $1 million per Bitcoin? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. As I said, as a university, as an institution, we wanted to do a very serious study about Bitcoin, about the advantages and so on and so forth. And we have decided to accept it as a means of exchange. We are not taking any position as a university about the potential of Bitcoin as a store of value. I have, of course, my own personal opinion about that, but...
and what is your personal opinion about that?
I believe that there is a lot of potential for Bitcoin to become a superb store of wealth, but that's my personal opinion.
Okay, let's circle back then to this question about what Ron Paul was saying recently. Ron Paul, I think he's a pretty well-known politician around the world, really, because he's been out front in criticizing the Federal Reserve Bank in America, which is analogous to the European Central Bank. And the European Central Bank, of course, has a direct impact on what happens in Cyprus and other peripheral countries such as Greece. And these central banks, whether it's the Bank of England or Bank of Japan, they're all really coordinating under the master central bank, the Bank of International Settlements in Switzerland. And Ron Paul has been critical of this entire central bank centralized monetary authority that seems to favor one element in society, that is those who have access to money at 0% interest rates for speculation, while penalizing workers and savers. But the linchpin of this entire global central bank system is the U.S. dollar as reserve currency. As a CFO of a major university, your thoughts on, can the U.S. dollar continue this role as world reserve currency? Is it good or is it bad? And can Bitcoin challenge that role?
I believe there is a lot of logic in what you have outlined right now. I believe that the dollar will continue to play the role that it's playing currently, but it will have to face, and it will face a lot of challenge from Bitcoin. I can assure you that.
Okay, so basically, what I'm getting so far is that you're very happy that Bitcoin has enabled your university to get more students at a better price and expedite the whole educational process. And that's the main emphasis behind supporting Bitcoin.
That's true. However, we have much more ambition as far as Bitcoin is concerned. We went through this proposal that we have made to the Cyprus government to convert Cyprus into a hub, a worldwide hub for Bitcoin trading, processing, and banking. And we have made specific proposals to the government as to how we can achieve that. You know, as a country, we don't have a lot of export capabilities. We have tourism, we have private universities, but we don't really export anything. However, we have once in a lifetime opportunity now with Bitcoin to convert the Cypriot economy into a hub for worldwide trading, payment systems, banking, based on Bitcoin.
Let me get this straight. So you're saying that you are petitioning the government to allow for Cyprus to become a global hub of Bitcoin activity and take the lead position. So while other countries are thinking about it and trying to examine it, like the US or the UK, they're not sure exactly what it is, and there's a lot of lobbying efforts from the banking industry really against it because it's competition. Cyprus is now, you're lobbying the government, take a position. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We want to be a world leader, and we want the business. We're open for business for Bitcoin. Is that the message, Cyprus?
That's it. We want to make Cyprus the center of the world as far as Bitcoin trading, processing, and banking is concerned.
We have about a minute left. Can you describe some of those initiatives?
Yeah, for example, the government can make a public statement that Bitcoin businesses are very welcome in Cyprus. We can have Bitcoin being traded in the official Cyprus Stock Exchange. It will be the first official.
The Bitcoin will be traded on the Cyprus Stock Exchange.
This is one of our proposals.
That's a proposal.
Yeah. Imagine now having an authorized stock exchange under the auspices of the government, having Bitcoin trading. It will attract trading from all over the world. We will have related businesses and services being developed. We will create thousands of new jobs. The opportunity is great.
So like Singapore is the Asian hub for banking, and London is certainly a hub in Europe for banking. Cyprus could be a Bitcoin hub for the globe in Bitcoin trading and related services. That's your hope, that's your thought.
Yeah.
The government so far, we have about 20 seconds. The government so far, what has been their response?
The Minister of Finance has been asked about this from worldwide channels in the last couple of days, and he said that they are very positive and they will study this very carefully in the next coming days.
All right, fantastic. Well, we wish you luck. I think one country will be the big winner. It could be Cyprus.
It could be. We want it to be, and we will make every effort.
Well, thanks so much for being on the Keiser Report.
Thank you very much.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Keiser Report with me, Max Keiser, and Stacey Herbert. I'd like to thank our guest, Dr. Christos Vlachos of the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. If you'd like to get in touch, tweet us at Keiser Report. Until next time, bye, y'all.